everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to be doing this colorful look. I love this look. You know that I am not a neutrals girl, so anything with color I'm all about. Colorful eye, neutral lip. Let's get started with the brows. Same old per usual, Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. This stuff is so easy. I think from now on I'm just not going to show my brows because it's the same thing that I always do. I just line the brows, fill them in, brush them, and I'm done. Really easy peasy. I've been using this same product forever because it just is so easy. And this is exactly what I do. It literally takes me less than 3 minutes. I draw the line, I fill them in, and then what I do is I just take a spoolie brush and brush the product through the brows. And of course, I have some tea before I keep moving on. I have tea in this video like 80 times. And then I just put a little more product, make sure everything's filled in. I take a spoolie brush and I brush the product through the hairs. That's it. Brows are done. Then I go in with this black opal concealer stick, and this is in the shade Honey. I've been doing this too for years. I don't even like using a brush for this step. I just use my fingers, and sorry I'm out of frame. I just like to get really up close and blend it out, and it just makes your brows look sharp. And I just like using my finger because I feel like the heat from my fingers really helps to evenly distribute the product. Now I'm going to go in with this NYX Jumbo pencil, and this is black. I think it's called Black Bean or Black. I'll link it down below. This is just going to serve as the base for the eyeshadows to really make sure that the colors are going to pop. So what I do is I place that all over the lid, and you can be sloppy with this because we're putting so many colors in the crease. It's totally alright if you go a little in the crease, and then I just spread it out with my finger. This is just serving as a base. It's going to help the colors to really pop. Not that these eyeshadows need it, but I just like to do it as an extra step. It doesn't hurt. Going in with the star of the show, Urban Decay palette. I feature this in my favorites. I love this. And I'm going to start with this bright pink shade, and this one is called Savage. I'm going to put this all over the crease. And I really wanted this to be really pigmented because we're putting a lot of colors in the crease. So you can tone it down as much as you like. I like bright colors, and I really wanted to pack on the pink. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just taking my time and blending it out. I'm using a Sephora. Oh no, I'm actually using a brush that came in my BoxyCharm. So I'm taking that Savage color and I'm putting it all on the lower lash line. So every color we put in the crease, we're going to be putting on the lower lash line. I know that sounds crazy, but once you blend it all together, it looks nice. And you can see that I'm connecting it at the outer corner of the eye, but I'm making sure not to cover that black eyeshadow base. Now going back into the palette, I'm going to take the darker pink color, and that one is called Jilted, and I'm just going to put that right over where we just put Savage. So those two pinks are going to kind of blend together and make this bright neon pink. I know it looks absolutely crazy right now, but don't worry, we're going to blend it all together. So I'm taking that and connecting it just like we did the color Jilted all through the lower lash line. Sorry, if you see me looking at a screen, I'm watching TV, so that's what I'm looking at. So I'm just taking my time to blend those. Going back into this palette, I'm going to take the color Urban, and now I'm just going to blend that a little lower than where we had that pink shade. So I'm not going to cover up the pink color. So you can see I'm going in the crease, but I'm just not covering up the pink. I'm blending into it. Hopefully that makes sense, but you can see what I'm doing here. And then again, I'm just connecting it by bringing it on the lower lash line and connecting it on the outer corner, because I want the color on the top and bottom lower lash line. So now I'm going to go in with this blue color, and this one is called Chaos. I love this color. I love this whole palette. I featured it in my favorites. It's been my favorite for more than a year. I just love it. And if you don't like color, I just challenge you. Go off the deep end. Try some color. You might have some fun. So I'm doing the same thing I've been doing with all those other colors. I'm just going a little lower than each color, blending it on the lower lash line, and then blending it in the crease. And I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. I don't want them all to blend together, but I do want it to not look choppy. So you can see that I'm kind of blending it lower than where I just put that purple color. Going back into the palette, I'm basically using every color in this palette. I'm going to use the color Fringe, and look at how beautiful that is. These colors are so pigmented. They're so creamy. They're so long wearing. I think Urban Decay really knocks it out of the park with eyeshadows. So I'm packing that all on the lid, blending it into the blue. So you see how the blue kind of dissipates once we put that Fringe teal color on? It's kind of all just blending together, but it looks a little darker in the crease. That's what I was going for. So That's why I was saying don't worry about, if you mess up or if you get some in the crease because we're blending everything together, but it just adds dimension to the eye. So now I'm taking that original blending brush that I was using at first with the pink, and I'm just blending that into the teal. Now I'm using this limited edition Wet n Wild palette. I didn't even film that because it's limited edition. It's hard to find. I just stuck that on the inner corner of the eyes just to brighten it up. Going in with one of my favorite eyeliners. This is the e.l.f. Creamy Gel Eyeliner. I love this stuff. Of course, I have to have more tea. I wanted a really thin eyeliner, so I'm using an extremely thin brush from Morphe. God, I really had to take my time with this because this is really thin. And so whenever I mess up or want to make it really sharp, I just use my finger. I wanted to show you guys that. And then I watch TV. Or I use a beauty wipe just to clean it up to make it really sharp. And you can see how thin that line is. Going in with my Huda Beauty lashes. I love these lashes. Pop those on. I wasn't even going to try to film it because I suck at filming lashes because I have to get really close to the mirror. Now I'm using my L'Oreal Miracle Blur. I haven't used this primer in a while. I really love it. If you have large pores, highly, highly recommend using it. It's a silicone-based primer, but it's great. Going in with my Dior Star Foundation, and I am in the shade 070. Just going to use my Vasanti brush that came in a boxy charm. I really like this foundation brush. And just what I do is I press it into the skin first, and then I swipe. That's what you want to do with foundation. Press it into the skin, then swipe onto your skin. Otherwise, you're just going to be moving the product around, and it's not going to really settle into the skin. So that's why you want the primer. You want to prime as a base so that it's not all sinking into your pores. So that's why I always prime, especially because I'm super oily. Now I'm going to go on with this IT Cosmetics Concealer. This stuff is thick. I wanted to show you guys. This is my first time using it. This stuff is amazing. It is very high coverage. It is very thick. If you do not like makeup that makes you feel cake-faced, I feel like you would not like this. I love it because I love full coverage makeup, but it is very thick and it is awesome. It does not go anywhere. This is great for brightening under the eyes. This is the shade Tan. This might be, I feel like, one shade too light, but it's okay. You'll see I make it work. So I'm using my Real Technique sponge and blending that out. I always like to start with first using my fingers. Then I go in with a sponge because, again, I love using the fingers because the warmth from your hands just helps to blend out the product. Now, you can see this stuff is really light, like really light, but I make it work. It's just really good, guys. It's definitely full coverage. Now, I'm going to set that with my Ben Nye powder using my Sonia Kashuk brush. I'm trying to get better about linking my brushes that I use down below, so check the description bar. Everything is linked down there. I love this brush for setting under the eyes, and I'm just going to blend that out, and I just blend my life away until this stuff is blended. Then I forgot to highlight my nose. So this is tricky. If you use this on your nose and you have large pores, I highly suggest you really do a good job of priming because I felt like it really brought out the large pores because I forgot to prime my nose really well. So that's just a tip. If you're using any thick concealer, make sure you prime, guys, if you have large pores. I'm going to go in and contour the nose. And then, of course, a couple quick selfies for Instagram so I can show the process of contouring and highlighting. Now I'm just going to go in and blend everything out with my Real Technique sponge, and then I'm just taking an angled brush to blend out the nose contour, but really I prefer to use my fingers. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I prefer to use my fingers to blend out the nose contour. I love using my fingers to blend things out because I say it once, I'll say it again. Just try it because the heat from your hands just helps to make everything look more natural. Going in to highlight with this Becca Shimmering Perfector, I think that's what it's called, powder. I was going to give it highlight my nose, but I felt like it was just a little too natural for me, and I wanted to be like highlighted for the gods, you know, glistening like a Egyptian princess. Or Roman, whatever. So I'm going to go in with blush first, and then I'm going to go in and put another highlighter on. So this is a NARS blush. I can't remember the name of it, but I really like it. It just gives me a natural flushed look using my Real Techniques blush brush. And then I'm going to go in with the Milani Tantastic highlighter. I love this stuff. I featured it in my best highlighters. I'll link that video down below. I'm going to use my MAC fan brush, and I feel like this just gave me the highlight I was looking for. I wanted to keep the face just really crisp, clean, and basic, but I did want a nice bright highlight. So that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to go in with this Revlon lipstick, and this is in the color, I believe it's called Smoky Rose. Yes, I love this. It's just a beautiful neutral pink. I think it goes perfect with brown skin tone, and if you're lighter than me, it would just look like a nice pale pink. Really pretty. Now I'm going to go in with this Manna Lip Gloss, and this is in the color Lucky. I'm just going to put that on the center of the lip just to bring some luminosity to the lip to make my lips appear a little more fuller, and this is the finished look. Hopefully you enjoyed. Take care, please subscribe, thumbs it up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.